Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making some focaccia bread and it is going to be garlic flavored at the end, but it is a 2-day process. Today I need to make the dough and then I need to let it refrigerate for a whole 24 hours. And then tomorrow night I'll bake it and eat it for dinner. So let's begin. So first off, I have 2 cups of water and I need to add my yeast and my sugar to that so it can start activating. You need 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. 1, 2, and 1/4 teaspoons. And then we need 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then I'm just gonna give that a quick stir. And I'm gonna set that aside. And while that's going, I'm gonna measure out my flour and my salt. Okay, for my flour, I need 5 cups. So this is gonna take a little bit of time, but we're gonna get that all measured out. Actually cutting the bag down so it's a little bit easier to get out. That's much better. You wanna make sure you're spooning it in so that the flour doesn't get too tightly packed. Otherwise you'll end up with too much flour. And then you wanna level it off and add it in to the mixing bowl. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm really starting to smell the yeast too, so I know that that's really starting to get active. So that's a good sign. 5. And then we need a whole tablespoon of salt. So it seems like a lot, but it will make the bread taste way better. Okay, and now I'm going to just turn this on. I have my hook in my KitchenAid, and so that will knead together this whole thing as it goes. But first, I'm just gonna mix together the flour and the salt. So just turn it on for a little bit and get it all combined. This is starting to get very foamy on top, which is what we want. This is supposed to wait for 10 minutes, so I'll come back when that 10 minutes is over. Okay, this is looking fantastic. It is really bubbly, and it is ready to go in the flour. So for this, we are gonna add my yeast mixture into my flour mixture and then turn this on and knead it for 6 minutes straight. So it's gonna take a little bit of time. Make sure I can get everything I can. Time to mix. And this is just gonna slowly knead it together until it's done. It has been 6 minutes, so it is time to take this out and put it in the refrigerator. So I have a bowl greased with some olive oil, and so I'm going to dump this in there. It's pretty sticky. My hands are clean, so I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on my fingers so it doesn't stick to my fingers. All this into here. Got it all in there. I'm just gonna flip this over so that the oil's everywhere. Perfect. I'm gonna wash my hands and then we're gonna cover this with some plastic wrap and then we are gonna get it in the refrigerator. We're gonna cover this tightly with some plastic wrap and then I will see you tomorrow in about 24 hours and we are gonna bake it. I'm very excited for this. This is my first time ever making focaccia. Focaccia? Not sure which one. Here you go. This bread is really puffing up. I have to wash out the refrigerator. The oil's getting on it. Okay, it has been 24 hours and it is time to get this going again today. This did not do well in the refrigerator. I should have put it in a much larger bowl, so I need to remember that for next time, that I wasn't expecting it to expand so much in the refrigerator because it was cold, but it definitely did. So next time, much larger bowl, but it should still work fine. So first we're gonna add some oil to the bottom of our pan. Just spread that around. Okay, and what we're gonna do with this is I'm going to take this off. Okay, we're gonna put this in our pan. Yeah, there was a lot of yeast activity in here, which is good. It means it should Be nice and bubbly on the inside. There we go. And then it says to spread it out as much as I can right now and then let it sit for 15 minutes and then see if I can get it any more. So I'm just gonna try and get it all stretched out. Okay, a little bit longer. Okay, this is looking pretty good. So I'm gonna set it aside for 15 minutes and then come back and see if I can get it spread out any more than this. Been about 15 minutes, so I'm gonna try to stretch it out a little bit more, and then we're gonna cover it tightly in plastic wrap and let it rest at room temperature for 3 hours. It's spread out really nice. Okay, now it is time to wrap it tightly with plastic wrap. Hopefully this time it doesn't overflow. Now I'm gonna set it on the stove to rest for 3 hours. A little before 3 hours, I'm gonna get the oven preheated to 450 degrees. Definitely expanded. It has almost doubled in size since I have left it. It has been 3 hours, so now it is time to dimple it and put a little bit of salt on it and bake it in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. You want the top to be nice and golden brown. So first I'm gonna add a tiny bit more olive oil. There's already quite a bit on top, so I don't need that much. That's good. And then you're just gonna take your fingers and kind of dimple it down. And so it makes a lot of little holes in it there. So it's gonna shrink down and pop some of the rising too. Awesome. Okay, so here's what it's looking like once it's dimpled. And then I'm gonna sprinkle it with a little bit of salt and then it goes in the oven. Perfect. Time to bake. So 20 to 25 minutes. Perfect. And in the meantime, I am going to be making a butter and garlic mixture that I will pour on top once it is done baking. Okay, it is time to make the garlic butter. So I have a half stick of butter and I minced up 6 cloves of garlic. So first we're gonna melt down our butter in a pan. Just let that melt down. Okay, and once that all gets melted down, add in your garlic. We're gonna cook this for about a minute. Okay, that is looking good, so I'm gonna take it off the heat and just let it cool down a little bit, and then we're gonna pour it on top of the bread when it is out of the oven. Okay, I think it is ready, so let's take it out of the oven and look. It's looking pretty golden brown. Oh yeah, that's sounding great. First, I'm gonna drizzle the garlic butter over it evenly. You wanna make sure you're getting it everywhere on top and spread it out evenly. Oh, this is looking so good. Okay, this is looking fantastic. So now I'm going to take it out and let it cool off on the cooling rack. There we go. And now I'm just gonna wait a little bit for that to cool down, and then we're gonna try it with some soup that I made yesterday. Oh shoot, I forgot. You also wanna put some Parmesan cheese on top. Okay. And here it is. It is time for a taste test. So first we're gonna get it cut up. Ooh, it is crispy on top and on the sides. That's a good sign. Half. Oh, this looks so good. Look at that. It smells so good too. It's so garlicky. It is time for the taste test. This is so good. It has the perfect amount of crispiness on the outside and on the top and bottom, but then the inside is nice and pillowy, and it has really nice air bubbles from the yeast expanding. And the garlic butter sauce on top is so good. I could see this being really good with like some rosemary sprinkled on top as well, so maybe next time I'll try it with that. But oh. Tastes just like garlic bread. It's so good. Okay, now it is time to try it with my soup. I made lasagna soup the other day. I just had a plain, but this I thought would go well with it. Let's give it a little dip. It also makes a fantastic dipping bread, so I'm very impressed with how this all turned out. I'm definitely gonna have to make this again. I've also seen people who have made it and put a bunch of different veggies on top and make it look like different designs like flowers, or I've even seen birds on there. Some people go crazy with it, so that would be a lot of fun, especially during the holidays. I could see that being a lot of fun. So overall, I'm very happy with how this turned out. If you like this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. So good.